right into it. First, we got Miami's PFF grades, and overall, they've been a really good team on the year. Keep in mind, all four of their games have been at home, so this is the first time they'll step in the comforts of a road environment. Their pass rush is very elite. You can see 81.8, 83.6, 78.5, and then 90.1 against Florida. And if you watch that game throughout, 90.1 is they definitely earned that grade. They just beat Florida as bad as you could possibly whoop them on that side of the football. Uh, Problem with the team, if you got to be a little nitpicky, is the offense can be a little in and out at times. But we're going to get into that in just a minute. And then here's some more Miami advanced stats. You can see they're very solid on both sides of the football. 44th in EPA per play, 6th in success rate, and then on rushing the ball, 26th in success rate and 28th in EPA per play. And they're also really good on the defense side of the ball, 29th in EPA per play, 36th in success rate, and in this matchup, we're really going to focus on the run because Florida State likes to run the football. So they're 12th in EPA per play, 11th in success rate, just really solid. So it looks like they should give Florida State a run for their money on that side of the football. And let's get on to Florida State's PFF grades. And you can see the offense has been really elite this year, which is a night and day difference from last year. 81.2, 87.9, 81.2. And of course, Alabama 66.7, but they definitely is very solid on that side of the ball. They seem to be getting better every week. Uh, Problem is on the defense side of the ball is where the questions have came, and that's not where I thought the question marks would be at this far in the season. I thought the defense would be the one keeping them in games, and the offense would be the one catching up. But it was kind of vice versa. You can see they really lack a pass rush as far as grades go. 58.5 against Alabama, 72.8 versus East Texas A&M, 64.5 versus Kent State, and 65.9 versus Virginia. And this is some more of their advanced stats. Just like Miami, they're really solid across the board. Um, Against or passing the ball, they only throw it 20 times a game, which is for 131st. But they're seventh in EPA per play and 18th in success rate. So when they do throw it, they really make it count. And if you watch them, especially against their two lesser opponents, they hit some shot plays down the field like multiple times. And then rushing the football, which is their bread and butter, 50 times a game, third in EPA per play, fifth in success rate. So they're very good at rushing the football this year. And against the pass, they're 25th in EPA per play, 33rd success rate. So they've been pretty good there. And against the run, and this is the part where I think I don't care what these stats say. I've seen a different Florida State run defense last game. They're eighth in EPA per play, 21st in success rate. But against Virginia, Virginia put up 211 yards. And since the Alabama game, that was kind of the first real, I'll say, real competition that they've seen. And for whatever reason, Alabama just abandoned the run after pretty much the first drive of that game. I don't really know why, but that kind of made the stats look better. And then naturally, the Kent State and East Texas A&M was not going to pad no rushing numbers on Florida State. So I thought it was very concerning for Virginia to average 4.4 yards per carry, 211 yards. Some of those were QB scrambles, but I would still say that Florida State still gave up to the running backs way more yards than what you like to see. There was a drive in the third quarter of that game where Virginia was like a 12-play drive, 11 straight rushes, and it was just brutal to watch. And then Miami's rushing stats for the year: 169 yards a game. They averaged 40.7 rushes per game, 4.8 yards a rush, so 45th. They're ranked 45th in the country in rushing yards per game, 26th in rushes per game. So I don't think Miami's going to let off trying to run the football. After any team watched what happened last week, they'd be foolish to try to just come out and start passing the ball. You gotta see if Florida State went and made adjustments this week. And on the right of this graphic, you can see Miami Hurricanes run block and PFF grades. After week one, they've been kind of solid, 80, 76 to 75. So I think Miami certainly can, block. They can hold their own against Florida State's defensive line. So coming into this, I'm not too thrilled about Florida State's chances on that, but that's why they play the game and don't just trust it on paper. And the next part of the aspect is, can Florida State get to Carson Beck? And when Carson Beck is kept clean, uh, he's he's been really good. I mean, the PFF grades are not the best, but still 5 touchdowns, one pick, 8.9 yards per attempt. So when he's under pressure, only 14.5% of the time, but that's when he gets a little iffy. 58 PFF grade. That's when he's thrown two of his interceptions. So he's got to get better on, when he's under pressure. And now I got to ask the question: can Florida State get to him? And this is Florida State's pass rush, pretty much pass rush stats for everything, for their basically top 10 defensive linemen. James Williams is probably their best pure pass rusher, 21.8 win percent, as you can see right over here. And then the Desert Twins are pretty solid. They're both freshmen though. That's kind of a problem I think when two of your better pass rushers are true freshmen in there. One even 5 stars or 3-star true freshmen. So that kind of says a little bit about the depth. And then you got Daryl Jackson, who's supposed to be the NFL body type, only winning on 7% of his pass rush win rate, so not very good there. But they do got a few more, like Jason Jenkins can be solid at times. Elijah Herring can also be. So maybe they can play the numbers game. If they keep sending, somebody can maybe step up and have a good game. But as from what I can see right now, I think Miami clearly has a chance to win that battle on that side of the department. Now we look at Miami's pass rush, and oh boy, they are good on this side of the ball, especially Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor. That's a nasty 1-2 combo. Both of them already have 19 total pressures on the year. Ruben Bain wins at 28.9%. Messidor wins at 30.7%. They're both just nasty. And then not have just one but two pass rushers over 90 PFF grade is just insane. Like, what are you supposed to do? You can't double team one without leaving the other on an island, and it's just and that doesn't even include the like Ahmad Moten, Marquise Lightfoot, and Armando Blount that can both more than capable getting after the passer. So they're Miami just they get after you. That's just what they're going to do. And we're going to look at Tommy Castellanos versus pressure, and he's kept clean on 69% of his dropbacks, under pressure 31%. That number is a little high, but it's because opponents blitz on 49% of their dropbacks. And so naturally, you're going to have a higher pressure rate. And they blitz a lot because Florida State's a running team. And they're trying to blitz to be able to stop all the Gus Malzahn run plays. So I don't know if I'm super worried about seeing the pressure for that. But the problem is, I think Miami could whip Florida State's offensive line with just a front four. And that's a scary thought to think. If they can, let's say, run a light box, take away the run, also get after Castellanos, it just makes life difficult for Castellanos back there. So that's kind of what I'm worried about. And who am I going to pick? I think Miami has the major edge in the trenches, but Florida State has home field advantage. As we talked about, Carson Beck, if they can get after him, has been known to make a couple of turnovers, which could swing the momentum. And I think in this rivalry game, momentum could be a key factor here. Remember Miami's first game on the road this year. Florida State's already beat Alabama at home, so we'll see what happens. I have to say, I think Miami probably has to win this game. Uh, I'm a Florida State fan, so it's going to kill me to try to pick against Florida State, so I'm just not going to do it. But I'm also a rational fan, and I realize that on paper, Miami has the edge at a lot of these positions, and I think Florida State's going to have to pull a couple interceptions, maybe Miami muff a punt or something. I think it's going to take a little bit of help to get the job done, but we'll see what happens. But hopefully, y'all enjoyed the breakdown of different key aspects of the game, and thank y'all for watching.